Hello everyone and welcome to Bayonetta Chapter 2.
Episode 3.
It will get better, don't worry about that.
No, it won't.
So anyway, we've already met Jean, but now we probably meet her. Oh, also, her name is Jean, in case you're curious.
Yeah. It's not Jean, or Jeanne, or whatever. No, it's Jean.
She's not even wearing jeans.
No, you're right.
I mean, are we going to get into that in, like, what the Umbra Witchers are wearing?
No, not really.
I mean, Bayonetta, it's basically her hair. We don't really know what Jean is wearing, so...
It's her hair with Jean as well.
Okay, I had not...
She just has some, like, magical hairspray that turns it red in clothing form.
For spoilers' sake, Jean is the other playable character. You need to, but in order to unlock her, you need to platinum normal mode. Surprisingly,
yeah,
just normal mode.
Which I'm not going to do. Just to put that out there. There's people out there who are willing to do something like that. To be fair, at one point I was probably one of those people. I just don't know if my save file for that is on the Xbox 360, the Wii U, Switch, or PS4.
You know, some of those people are tax evaders.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all evade tax a little bit every now and then, right? I mean, the whole reason why I came up with this channel in the first place was so I can declare some of my PC upgrades as tax deducible.
Ben, do you want to tell Victor, or should I?
You.
I was referring to, like, the completionist.
Ah. Yeah, I don't really watch him that much. I did have respect for his, like, 3DS video. Did he really do tax stuff?
Well, okay, well, to put it simply, he didn't technically pocket the money that was in charity, but that was supposed to be given to charity, but well, it makes it, the fact that he held onto it for like a decade makes him look incredibly sketchy as fuck.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I do suggest we don't harp on that for too long, because we don't really mean to, throw people around like that.
Yeah. But at the same time, it can be funny. If sparingly, like I just did.
Yeah. So anyway,
enough about it.
One of my favorite tracks in the entire game is about to play, and for whatever reason, it only plays during this one section. I think it's called Battle for the Umbra Queen, or for the Umbra Crown. It's really energetic, but it only plays during this one flashback sequence, where it's not even really about the fight, but more about teaching you, hey, you can walk on the walls. You can change gravity at certain points when the moon is shining. So what are our thoughts on these cutscenes? How they handle the cutscenes? Are they lazy or artistic?
They are certainly an artistic choice.
Honestly, I don't mind them. I like if it. If they didn't have the film reels on the side, it would not look as good as with them. But I kind of like them because of the film reels.
I mean,
to make it look like you're watching a classic film.
I also understand the fact that they were trying to go for like sort of a comic booky kind of feel with it, but first off, it's not really a comic book style thing. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like I said, it's a stylistic choice and one that I kind of like a lot.
Might you be looking for animatic?
Not necessarily.
Right.
Because animatics are like are kind of like storyboards for like during pre-production of animated films.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really mixed on the cutscenes because on one hand, I kind of feel like this game would have had the budget to just, give us proper cutscenes, but at the same time, it does give a lot of style points, and I'd rather have them, invest in the actual gameplay rather than the cutscenes.
I also appreciate the fact that you have to that it requires you to get like 2 moon pearls and 2 witches hearts for like increasing your health and
4 witch hearts.
Mana respect. 4? I thought it was 2.
No, it's 4.
No, it's 4.
Okay,
Witch hearts is 4. Pearls, it's 2.
Okay, well, that's okay. My point still stands anyway. I still like the fact that you have to like get like not as many things to increase your health and mana. And it's not like God of War 1 where you have to like get
grab
like
5.
6 where you have 6.
5 or 6 depending on the game.
No, it's 6 Cyclops eyes for health, and I forget what it was for mana for that.
Do you know how many of those health thingies are in the game? Because I never played any of the God of War games. I played a snippet of God of War 2018 when I got it for my birthday.
I do not know the exact numbers.
All right. Well, that's a damn shame. I'm actually considering picking up the God of War 2018 on Steam when it goes on sale next. But,
for those who are confused, I'm talking about like the original God of War, not God of War 2018.
Yeah, no, I know about that. Those games I've also been meaning to play, but unfortunately I couldn't find the PS3 remasters, I couldn't find the PS2 originals, and yeah, those are pretty much the only versions of the game that are available, because they only put God of War 3 on the PS4 for some reason.
Probably because it's like the more well-known one of the original games.
I don't even think it's the most well-known one. I guess it would just be easier to port it from PS3 to PS4.
It's the most cinematic of the God of Wars.
Yeah, and to be fair, when the PS4 came out, they were quite about the cinematic experiences, because a cinematic franchise like Uncharted did get the full-on collection treatment.
And believe me when I say that God of War 3 being the most cinematic of the entire series is saying a lot, considering that there's a lot of games in the God of War games that are very cinematic.
Yeah. Is God of War Ascension any good?
First thing first. It's 6 in every game except for the 2 PSP games, in which case it's 5.
All right.
And as for Ascension, I feel kind of really shouldn't have been made, especially considering the main story feels royally tacked on, because I think it was supposed to be a multiplayer focused deal. And then they just decided, oh hey, let's add a story for Kratos, and it's like it doesn't work.
So
because it takes place before 1.
Yeah.
Right. So you'd say that Ascension is one of those games where the multiplayer was made first, and then they made the single player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh. Ascension is kind of skippable. Chains of Olympus is too, but honestly, but it's up to you if you want to skip Chains of Olympus or not. It also takes place before 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather just stick to the main games. At that point,
that's fair.
That's fair. That's fine.
The one reason why I'm kind of curious about God of War Ascension is because it's one of the PS3 games that actually gets really damn near the Blu-ray limit that the format has. because the game is like 45 gigabytes or something along those lines. I came across that information when I was looking for like the highest capacity PS3 games. When I noticed that Uncharted 3 was really, really big for a PS3 game.
And God of War 3.
Yeah, well, I haven't played God of War 3, but I do know that there is a collection for God of War 3, and I think that has all the games on one disc.
No, the PSP games are downloads.
Okay,
wait, hold on, let me grab it.
When I'm talking about like 1, 2, and 3. I don't count the PSP games as much as that makes me sound like a dick.
The 1 and 2 have direct ports on the PS3. On the Classics collection, not the Classics collection, but like more like one of those like compilation discs that Sony used to do in the PS3 era.
Disc 1 is the God of War 1 and 2. Disc 2 is 3.
Okay, so they just didn't want to make a menu.
Yeah,
essentially.
Well, with all 3 games, because there is a menu for 1 and 2.
Yeah, but that was just...
It's done similar to the Bioshock collection.
That was just a reprint in that case.
Yeah.
And
also,
it's Classic HD you're talking about, at least in this region.
Yeah.
Because I've got I've got like all my PS3 games right in front of me at this point, because I was doing, I was putting them on my PS3, obviously. Yeah, no, I got them right in front of me, and I'm looking at the slide trilogy, and it says Classics HD on the top. It also says that it's only for PlayStation, and it also says that it has PlayStation Move features, a pretty big banner for PlayStation Move functionality, and a 3D compatible game sticker. I do not like how much of this box art is taken up by complete bullshit.
So anyway, back to God of War. Sony tried to repeat what Ascension was doing, but then they canceled it.
Yep.
Honestly, good for them, because Sony's direction with live service games is just kind of not good.
Yeah.
And thank God that the live service market is crashing hard, because I am so tired of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it got to a point where I kind of feel like a lot of companies out there who really shouldn't be dipping their toes in the live service market are doing so anyway. I mean, make no mistake, bless Platinum Games hard, because I do want to get back to the subject of Bayonetta.
Of Bayonetta, yeah.
Or, well, Platinum anyway, but, Platinum made Bayonetta. There have been 2 times in total where Platinum got burned on trying to make a multiplayer-focused title. The first one being Anarchy Reigns, which came out after Bayonetta and Vanquish did, and most notably were not part of a lucrative deal that Sega signed with Platinum, so the circumstances regarding it were a bit different. And the second one being Square Enix's Babylon's Fall, or as it's now commonly known, Babylon's Stall, because the game was a big dump. And you cannot even play it anymore, because, hey, you have to be online to play this.
And Square Enix had the audacity to wonder why Babylon's Fall wasn't doing as well, and they blamed Elden Ring for it.
I mean, that might have something to do with it. You'd be surprised how many times it happens that a pretty big game overshadows another game that should get the recognition. Problem is, Babylon's Fall did not deserve the recognition, and I'm gonna be honest, I kind of feel like Square Enix should not be dealing with Platinum.
I bet that the Horizon devs know how that feels.
Yeah.
Now there's 2 devs for Horizon, right?
The main ones.
Yeah, Guerrilla. Or
the main Guerrilla ones. Games. I couldn't think of it at the top of my head, but yeah, no, those guys I straight up feel sorry for, to be straight honest. First game came out when when Breath of the Wild came out. Second game was literally a week after Elden Ring. The remake of the first game, which came out in November, was literally same day as Dragon Age Vanguard. That one is the least painful one to them, but the most painful one is the PC version of 2, Dragon Quest 3 HD.
Also,
okay, well, I feel so sorry for those guys.
Also, Ben, just to get this out there, you do realize that you are forgetting about the PS VR 2 exclusive Horizon Call of the Mountain,
Horizon Call of the Mountain. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know there was a VR game. I really did not know that one.
There's a VR game, and Sony, in their infinite wisdom, is retailing it for a whopping. You know what? I'm gonna let you guess the price.
Wait.
$2.
No. No. $2. I wish.
This is why you don't let me guess on money.
Hold on. I'm gonna do an honest guess and say $120.
Okay, well, it's not that expensive either, but it kind of depends, because you could make the argument that it's the kind of game that, because it requires a $600 at the time peripheral, it's a $670 game. Oh, by the way, on the PlayStation Store, it's $70.
Yeah, yeah. I had a feel. That was actually what I was gonna guess. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why I said 120.
What game
That's way
came
too
out
much.
when that came out?
I don't even know when it came out. It's just I don't think that the PSVR 2 really had its moment yet. The PSVR 2 is really good. But I kind of think that after the PSVR 1 came out, and keep in mind that the PSVR 1 is kind of shitty. Like, the PSVR 1 was not good, and I will still retain my opinion that they should have made it exclusive to the PS4 Pro. I get why they didn't do that. They didn't want to alienate people, but the PS4 wasn't good enough to do VR. The PS4 Pro was hardly enough to do VR. And
Horizon Call of the Mountain came out as a launch title for the PSVR 2.
Yeah, and the PSVR 2 is really solid.
It's a step up from the first one.
It's just that people don't care about VR anymore. They don't trust Sony with it. Like, nowadays...
And they certainly don't sorry, go ahead.
In the current VR landscape, people are more likely to pick up a Meta Quest headset, not because they trust the company, but because it's the only one that is truly wireless. And I feel like that is making a significant difference for people.
And that's also
barely got that one.
Yeah, and it's also a really damn shame too, because Meta as a company, like as a whole, is kind of under hot water.
Yeah,
has been in hot water for years now.
I put my foot down and said that at no point will I personally purchase any product from Meta. I will not be making like a Facebook account or an Instagram account. I will not be moving to Threads. I will not do anything that increases the chance of Meta/Facebook or whatever the fuck you want to call them getting my data. They're going to get my data secondhand anyway, and there's not really that much I can do about it. But I will do what I can to keep my data out of their hands.
I'm share the same sentiment, and to put it in my perspective, I do not want the Zuck.
Yeah.
Just in general, I get that shit out of here.
Yeah, but to give them credit, at the very least, they are pretty cheap and solid VR headsets. And while I have a problem with my own data being at risk, I had no problem telling my father to get one for the boy. Because he really wanted to get a VR headset, and I kind of feel like it would be a pretty good thing to get with his computer after a year of getting it. And we have been enjoying stuff like Among Us VR for quite a bit, and we are considering picking up stuff like Arizona Sunshine and playing that in co-op. But I will not get one of those. And I really feel like Sony should have either included Horizon Call of the Mountain with the PSVR 2, Which, granted, there
Which it does.
There were bundles, but not every PSVR 2 is that bundle. Or they should have just made it cheaper. Because I don't think that anybody is going to be paying $70 for a VR game.
I think I think also the problem with PSVR 2 is also it's because it's also tied to the PS5 when it should also just be its own thing.
You can buy a PC adapter. That's why I picked one up.
Okay, well, thank God. But initially, it was tied to your like PS5 initially until they came out with a PC adapter for it.
In fact, on the box that I of my PSVR 2 that I bought far after the PC adapter came out, it's still saying PS5 required, but that is not the case. You do need to get a adapter that costs, I think, it was like 60 or 70 euros. However, if you have a 20 series NVIDIA GPU, you can just plug it into the USB Type-C port. And you don't need a separate power adapter, you don't need to have that pretty sleek, but in a way still janky box. You don't need to fuck around with the USB ports. And the controllers, in both cases, just go through Bluetooth.
You know, I kind of wish that capability was built into the headset instead of it being like an outside thing.
Yeah.
But I would imagine it would cost Sony a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't hold it against Sony for making their VR headset for their own platform. It's just that when it's not selling well and people aren't really picking them up, well, at that point you've got a product that nobody wants, nobody cares about, and you need to do whatever it takes to get people interested. And to be fair, I was interested, and when I got one on Black Friday for only $400, it's the best damn headset you can get for that price.
And believe you me, there's a whole lot of other things to hold Sony against that isn't PSVR 2, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
We've talked way too much about that already.
No, I'm just glad that I managed to. I'm just glad that I managed to pick up my PSVR 2 at the price that I did, at the time that I did, and that it gives me a solid VR headset that I can use on both my PC and my PS5.
And that's good.
Yeah, but long story short, Horizon has really had a lot of bad luck when it comes to its releases.
Well, specifically Guerrilla.
Yeah. What about the Lego Horizon game?
That wasn't made by Guerrilla. It was Traveler's Tales.
Did that release at an inconvenient time? Or did people just not care about it?
I think that one was Dragon Quest 3 HD. I'm gonna check.
Yeah, it's more a Lego game than a Horizon game anyway.
Yeah, but okay. So one was Breath of the Wild, 2 was Elden Ring, Call of the Mountain was on a platform nobody cares about.
It was Lego. My mistake.
All right.
You're good.
Yeah. No, they just cannot get it. They cannot catch a break.
They really can't, and I feel so sorry for those guys.
Guerrilla just can't catch a break.
And before people jump on us, we do know that there are differing tastes.
Yes.
Yeah, I, for example, have no problem getting an unnecessary remaster if it's only $10 to upgrade, and that's why I picked up Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, even though I still haven't played it.
I thought you were gonna say that's why I also picked up Last of Us Part 2 on PC.
No, I haven't bought that yet. I need to play Part 1 first, alright? And you can say that is an unnecessary remake, but at least with that I can make the argument that it's the first time that The Last of Us came to PC.
Also, I never was able to ask this in episode 2 because I really missed almost every fight that could. Why do you not use angel weapons?
Because I don't care about them. It doesn't suit my playstyle.
Okay, I was just curious. But yes, you can pick up angel weapons, and use them for a limited time.
Which is a really cool feature, but you don't necessarily need to use them.
Yeah, you really don't. Yeah, they just give help. It's similar to beat 'em ups doing that same thing.
Yeah.
Now imagine that being a requirement for 100%.
I mean, some of them are pretty good. So
I literally cannot just stress enough how batshit unforgiving and insane it is to 100% this game. I really can't. I really can't, and I'm going to bitch about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, for this Alphian portal, you need to run all the way back.
I hate those types of ones.
Where you just walk backwards to the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to HAL rooms and Kirby, but it's like in a game where they don't but at least they're fine in Kirby because HAL does not give a crap how long you take to beat a level.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just find that.
Go on.
Honestly, I just find it funny. More than irritating. Yeah, it's irritating, but you can't help but laugh at it. It's just something about it. It's just something about it just makes it really like charming. It's just charming in a way to make it so you have to walk backwards for a thing that is needed for completion. I don't know why. I guess I'm kind of sick like that.
Maybe. Later on in the game, you do get an ability that allows you to turn yourself into a panther, and that gives you significantly higher running speed. So that does kind of ease the pain on these kinds of requirements. It's still a stupid requirement. And while we're at it, I'm also really not a fan of these missions where you have to use a lot of torture attacks. And just to get this out of the way, this is one of the missions that actually made me that took a long time for me to get through, and it also had something to do with my means of recording, which I guess I'll get to when we get to that one. No, if you want to do this one properly, I highly recommend you to pick up the breakdance skill from Rodan's store, because it allows you to hold the dodge button, and Bayonetta will basically just circle all around and continuously like shoot the baddies, and that fills up your mana meter quite quickly.
And it takes and the game takes a picture for you.
My gripe is I wish these weren't timed. I
don't think the time is that unforgiving.
It's not unforgiving, but it also does add a little bit of pressure sometimes.
Yeah. You may also notice that I got all 6 torture attacks, but the challenge isn't over, because guess what? I still need to kill all the enemies.
Yeah. I thought it was also because you have to wait for the time. Wait, no. If the time expires, you just automatically fail.
Yeah. Also, just to make this clear, I'm not trying to gaslight you. I definitely failed at quite a chunk of these. I'm just skipping like past all the failed attempts because you do not need to see those.
No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Victor is a very good gamer and did them first try, every single time. It's true. I swear
I already put myself out there and said that this is not like a professional playthrough. All right.
Nah, he's lying. He's a pro gammon. He's a pro gammon specimen.
I'm gonna ban you from this server.
Sorry.
Oh look, a book. Pity I don't read.
I can't. It's pity I can't. I don't know how to read yet.
Another LP? Working me to the bone, but no need to pity me. I was born anyway.
I also don't really like how Rodan doesn't have like any significant lines for the LPs you collect. He kind of just cycles through them. Considering there's only like a handful of them, I feel like it would be small troubles. But I guess a lot of people
Good.
wouldn't be caring about that much anyway.
It's time for me to master these LPs onto CD.
That is a sin, according to some people.
I know.
Anyway,
making a joke.
here is the Shuraba. A sword, or as I like to call it, the... Okay, fine, we get that you'd rather be playing Devil May Cry, so would this soften the blow? I do quite like this one, and in a later episode I will equip it, and it will pretty much be my main weapon. Because I especially like how it has the same uppercut ability and combination from the Devil May Cry games, where you hold the lock-on button, you point the stick backwards, and you press the triangle button, and it will...
It's the stinger.
It will launch your enemies in the air. And then you can kind of just plow through them.
Launch attack. Never mind.
Yeah, and you can kind of just attack them from within the air. You can stay in the air. And funnily enough, there's also some Alphian portals where you have to stay in the air. And I'll only use it on one of them, because there is a different weapon that has even better usefulness in those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Devil May Cry 3 has that same type of mission. Only with in DMC 3, it's actually a lot more smoother to do.
Right.
Which is funny.
Because for the DMC one, you can just lure an enemy into one of the doorways and just mash the crap out of X.
I appreciate a hard game giving you some mercy.
Yeah.
Also, an interesting note about the katana: if you use the Link skin in the Switch version, it becomes the Master Sword.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually really good.
Yeah, it's the only one that changes a weapon, which is honestly really lame in my eyes.
Yeah. But
Granted, I think in 2 there are more of those that actually do change. Like, I think the Princess Peach one turns a ball and chain weapon into a pair of chain chomps.
Yeah, and make no mistake, we've already mentioned that Bayonetta 1 has a couple of Nintendo exclusive skins in the costumes in the Wii U and Switch version. Bayonetta 2 goes hard on them. And
because Bayonetta 2 was backed by Nintendo.
Yeah. And the one thing
that means Nintendo did go, yeah, do this. We don't mind.
In fact, I'm pretty sure you can unlock some of them if you have the respective amiibo of those.
Yeah. It would not surprise me.
Yeah, and the one that I really like the most is the Fox costume. And not only because it actually looks quite good on Bayonetta, and I'm not just saying that as a furry, don't worry. It's also because one of the flight missions just straight up turns into Star Fox.
The baby. No.
That's the wrong one.
I know.
I mean, hey, there's a Samus costume.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely wrong. I get what you mean.
So anyway, are we gonna address the twist of the child?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Alright.
Just know that there is a twist, and it's a really good one, so look out for that.
It's also one that's quite difficult to
explain.
It's one that's quite difficult to explain, quite difficult to follow, because the story is good, but man, does it go out of its way.
It does. But man doesn't have plot. But man doesn't have some huge plot holes.
Yeah, and 2 doesn't help with it.
Or 3, for that matter.
Well, the only reason why I said 2 is because 2 does have a connection to the first one. 3 doesn't really have as much of a connection.
So anyway, I don't like this boss fight. I kind of feel like it's relying too much on... well, I'm not going to say what I want to say first. it relies a bit too much on just frantically moving around. And I notice a lot of the times in this game that I dodge out of the way, but for whatever reason, witch time doesn't seem to trigger. Now,
yeah, it's really weird.
The one thing I will give credit to this boss fight in particular, I think there are checkpoints in this one. I know that in a lot of boss fights there are checkpoints.
I think that there's a checkpoint after you drain its health low enough.
Yeah, well, once you drain its health low enough, a QT will appear.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, we'll see. Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, here's the QTE.
And
which, if you fail, that does kill you.
Like, instantly.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, luckily, I kind of know when the QTEs are happening, so you won't catch me falling for them. Like Bayonetta is falling right now.
Like Bayonetta fell. Yeah, I was gonna say Bayonetta falling to her death.
No, not to her death. A platinum protagonist stays. It can be airborne.
Got like
one item.
Yeah, it's because I died. And because of that, I got a Luca. But to be fair, I don't mind getting a Luca.
Better than getting an Enzo.
Yeah.
What is Enzo just like
girl.
stone? Is Enzo just stone rank?
Enzo is bronze, and the little girl is wood or stone.
No, Soraya.
The little girl is the lowest.
Soraya says bronze.
We're not saying her name.
I'm saying
we already did. She already did. We already did.
Right.
So
yeah, right. Oh. Yeah, she's the lowest rank.
No, she's not. Enzo's lowest rank.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah. Hey, look, I can get this red hot shot. I should get it. Oh no! I accidentally did all my points to Halos.
Oh no! Time to restart the game.
Nah, I will not be restarting the game. In fact, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save.
Yes.
Also, I really don't like how it doesn't automatically go to 2. Because you know for a fact that at some point, and this didn't happen in the playthrough, so don't worry about that, but I'm going to try and mash through it, and I'm accidentally going to override my first save. Like, if you know you're on save slot 2, then automatically navigate to save slot 2.